Well, good evening, everybody. Welcome once again to a great episode of the Van Buren Variety Show. I am, of course, Bob Van Buren, your host for every show. And I want to give a little apology to my subscribers and audience. You may have noticed, hopefully you noticed, that I didn't have a show last week. There was no show last week, and there wasn't time for me to cancel at the last minute. I was on a business trip. I got sent to Ohio for some new training for a new job that I'm in now. So sorry about that. I hope nobody was waiting. I didn't have a show scheduled that last Tuesday. So you didn't miss anything. There was no show last week. And there may be a change in times pretty soon for the Van Buren Variety Show. 7 o'clock Tuesdays is a great time, but may be a change in the schedule coming up. But I will definitely keep you posted on that. Plenty of notice. And I can see that there are some new people here that have are watching this show. Appreciate you being there. For those of you that are curious, this is a variety show. Every week I have an individual guest to talk about an individual topic. Could be a profession, it might be a hobby, it might be a how-to segment, and even some music segments. And that's what's going to happen tonight, ladies and gentlemen. So for those of you new that haven't been here before, and if you like what you see, make sure you hit that like button. I'm sure our guest tonight would like to see that you've watched and you appreciated what you saw. And make sure you hit that subscribe button, because that'll make me feel a lot better too. So I'm going to cut this short and sweet because we want to get on with the music. We've got some talented musicians for tonight's show, and I'm really looking forward to it. A father and son duo, Bluegrass, and I love Bluegrass. My grandfather, my maternal grandfather, loved Bluegrass music. He introduced it to me when I was a kid. I still love it to this day, but there's nothing like a Bluegrass song that's played live. That's what we like to see, and that's what you're going to see tonight, as well as some recorded music by our guest and a website where you can see for yourself and purchase some of this music. So without further ado, let me bring my guest on tonight. Ladies and gentlemen, I'd like to introduce you to Dave and Nathan Beaumont. Guys, welcome to the Van Buren Variety Show.
Thank you very much. I am Dave, by the way, for the viewers. We were talking to Bob earlier, but I'm Dave. I'm the older one. Nathan, he's the younger one.
Welcome to the show, and we're looking forward to your musical talent tonight. Before we get started, I'll just kind of ask you a few questions. So this is for both of y'all. What kind of instruments do you play?
Only good ones, right?
I like that. A good answer.
Well, I'll tell you about Nathan, because anything that's bluegrass, he can play it, which means banjo, guitar, mandolin, bass, fiddle,
wow,
and yep, yep.
Multi-talented.
And he fills in a lot of bands in Central Florida, and actually he's like a regular member of 3 bands, plays a different instrument in each one, and so I play some of those instruments. He plays all of them.
That is awesome. Congratulations, Nathan. Is there any particular, y'all play yourselves, but is there any particular, could be country artist or bluegrass artist that you admire or you listen to a lot?
What do you think?
Well, I'd say probably my favorite artist of all time is probably Tony Rice.
Tony Rice, yes. Uh-huh.
If you don't know, bluegrass guitar player, one of the best acoustic guitar players of all time.
I know who that is for sure. Now, I'm old school, so don't laugh. And I told you my grandfather introduced me to this, but I go way back. And when I say way back, I go back to, and maybe y'all don't know who it is, Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs. That's how far back I go.
Right, and that's how far back I go too. I was grabbed by the Beverly Hillbillies theme. I was 6 weeks old when that show came on TV, and it grabbed me and wouldn't let go. And that's what made me get into music, was that sound of that that introduction music that they play, and actually the outro at the end of the show too. And that's how I fell in love with bluegrass music. I didn't know it was called bluegrass back then, but that's what got me into music, and then I've been playing ever since. Nathan just picked it up probably about five years ago.
Wow. And he plays all those instruments. Wow.
Yeah. He had been playing the guitar a little bit before. I had a family band. My brothers and sisters and I, the Beaumont family band here in Central Florida. We're from San Antonio, Florida, by the way. Our name is Beaumont, and we're from San Antonio, but it's all Florida all the time.
Well, there's a Texas reference in there, so I like that.
Yeah. Um, but when Nathan was young, he would get up and sing a song with the Beaumont family band. And for 3 or 4 years, like when he was 7, he got up and did Amazing Grace. And then when he was 8, he got up and did, well, actually, the year before that, when he was 6, he got up and did You Are My Sunshine. And then when he was 8, he got up and, well, the night before I said, what song you want to play? What you want to sing? And he said, The Sea of Life. Now, if y'all are not a bluegrass aficionado, you might not know that is an extremely difficult song by Doyle Lawson and Quicksilver. Well, sure enough, when he was 8 years old, he got up on stage and did that. But he didn't get into the picking. He was just singing and playing a little rhythm guitar. So about 5 years ago, when he was 12, he was binge watching The Office in his bedroom during the summer, you know, in between school years, right? And he came out and he asked me this very strange question. He says, Dad, do you know how to play banjo? And, you know, I thought, where have you been? I've been playing banjo all his life. Although I don't play it a whole lot because my best friend plays banjo and we're in a band together. So I usually don't play banjo because I could play other stuff too. So I usually play guitar or something else. Anyway, he said, he asked me, can I show him how to play? And I spent about 5 minutes showing him how to do the rolls.
That's good.
And that was it. He took off. The rest of it was all on him. But what inspired him was Andy and Dwight bringing their guitar and banjo in on an episode of The Office. And I think they sang Country Roads. Is that right?
Yeah, I think that's what it was.
Yeah. Country Road. Wow, a classic there.
Yeah. And so that's what got him into the bluegrass. And then during COVID, when he stayed home for a whole year from school, rather than study, he learned how to play all those instruments.
Wow, time well spent.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That is awesome.
Why don't you get your guitar and do something?
Yeah, go ahead, Nathan. We'll turn the show over to you. And ladies and gentlemen, during the show, stay tuned because not only will you hear him play live, we'll have some recorded music that he's played. I will also be showing you his website address. So stay tuned for that. So Nathan, we'll go and give it over to you.
Okay, this song is one that was recorded by Tony Rice, like we mentioned before. Also, can you hear this guitar all right?
I'll hear perfectly, yes, absolutely.
This was recorded somewhere in the 80s. It's called Church Street Blues.
Okay, take it away.
Well, I've been hanging out uptown, morning in that low down rain, watching Good Time Charlie Friend, who's driving me insane. Up on shady Charlotte Street, where the green lights look red, I wish I was back home on the farm, or in my feather bed. And I got myself a rocking chair to see if I can lose these stand-up hard times that hell on Church Street Blues. I got myself a picker friend and read yesterday's news. I folded up page 21 and stuck it in my shoe. Nickel to the form, I could turn for the day. I folded up my old billfold and threw it far away. And I got myself a rocking chair to see if I can lose these stand-up hard times that hell on Church Street Blues. wish I had some guitar strings, the old Black Diamond brand. I'd string up this old Martin box and go and join some. But I guess I'm gonna stay right here. They can sing a while. Try to make me a little change. Give them folks a smile. And I got myself a rocking chair to see if I can lose these thin dime hard times that hell on Church Street Blues. These thin dime hard times that hell on Church Street.
Yeah. That's just how I wanted you to play it.
That works perfect. There was one little time during this song that the internet connection kind of messed up a little bit. Not the picture, but the sound a little bit. But we heard you loud and clear, so that was worked perfect. So I'm going to go ahead right now and display your website for our audience. And so I'll let you kind of narrate it, Nathan. So if they go to your website right here, what all will they see? What will be there?
Yeah, so that's just gonna have like it's gonna have pictures of stuff I do and general information.
Because the CD is not done yet.
Oh yeah, it's not out yet, so
Okay.
you can sort of track on that.
You can follow that website and you can email him through there, and like with some of those songs that we emailed you earlier today, those MP3s will be part of the CD, but when it's all done, we'll be selling it on that website.
Okay, so do you hear that, ladies and gentlemen? The CD is on its way. So I'm sure that on the website you'll notify everybody when the CD is available.
Yes. There's also some YouTube videos that I put on there from my YouTube channel that people can check out.
Do you have some different bands on there, or is it all just
a couple different things?
Yeah, he plays in a band of young people that's local here. We live in a place called Fort Lonesome, Florida, and it's in the middle of Florida, and in the middle of nowhere, and but the county seat is Tampa, so that might give some people an idea of approximately where in Florida.
Well, that's that, yeah.
And so there's some friends that have a band called Duck Wallow Lane, and Nathan plays with them. You can see some clips of them on his website or on his YouTube channel. And the lead singer in that band is a girl named Morgan Brake. And she has a CD that actually has some airplay lately. She's on some bluegrass charts, and I forget what is her website called.
I think it's Morgan Brake Music.
Morgan Brake Music, BRAKE.
MorganBrakeMusic.com.
Yeah. She's a really good singer. She sings sort of like Alison Krauss. She writes a lot of
Really? Oh wow.
Yeah. So we encourage folks to go look her up too. And then now, don't go looking for this, but I'm in a band called Highway 41 South. We have a website called Highway 41 Bluegrass, and it's spelled HWY 41 Bluegrass. You know, like a
.com.
.com, yeah.
Okay.
But don't go look that up. All you'll see is me and other people like me. Old people like me.
Hey, as long as you're musically inclined, how old you? Why does it matter how old you are?
Yeah, that's right. Yes, yeah, I agree. And we do have a CD for sale already, and I don't know if there's any clips on there, but it's more bluegrass. If you're hunting for bluegrass, things are different now. When I was Nathan's age, I was desperate for finding bluegrass. I would go to Kmart. If anybody remembers Kmart, they would have this bin of records they were selling for $1. You know, the
budget section.
yeah, those the 12-inch LPs. And there was no label, no names or categories. You just had to look through every one, and if it had a picture of a banjo on it, I bought it. Nowadays, you know, it's easy to hunt for stuff either on YouTube or Spotify or
Amazon, wherever. You know, they're all there.
Whatever. Yeah. So anyway, why don't you play one of the MP3s?
Okay.
What do you want them to play?
in particular one? I can play either
Yeah,
one.
how about Matterhorn? You got that one?
Yes, the Matterhorn. I do have that one. Yes.
Yeah. Now that's a classic. It was originally, as far as I know, recorded by the Country Gentlemen back in the '70s, and a bluegrass band from Virginia, famous national bluegrass band. But the Florida connection is that Mel Tillis helped write it. He's from right around here. He's from Plant City, Florida, originally, which is like a half hour from where we are right here in Fort Lonesome. And
Okay.
but anyway, it's a great song, and Nathan is putting it on his album that's upcoming. And play that. Let's see how that sounds.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to listen to a recording now from Nathan. It's called Matterhorn. So let me display this for everybody, and then we'll get this started. So let's see. And here it is, ladies and gentlemen.
It started out from Buren one sunny August morn. There was just the four of us against the Matterhorn. There was Albert the Australian and John the Irishman, me and Bill from Britain, mad dogs in the sun. Matterhorn, Matterhorn, men have tried and men have died to climb the Matterhorn, that mighty Matterhorn. 2 miles up, we lost John and our rations fell below. Now Al and Bill are lying beneath an avalanche of snow. Now I'm here alone and I know I cannot stop. 2 more yards in front of me before I reach the top. Matterhorn, Matterhorn, men have tried and men have died to climb the Matterhorn, that mighty Matterhorn. Now I sit here dying upon the Matterhorn. Not a grave for me and a lion, poor thing to keep me warm. The Queen would surely knight me if I could get back down, but it's closer here to heaven than it is back to the ground. Matterhorn, Matterhorn, men have tried and men have died to climb the Matterhorn, that mighty Matterhorn, that mighty Matterhorn.
It might help if I unmute the mics. So,
So,
I gotta say, Nathan, it was a very good job. Thank you.
yeah. So Nathan is playing every instrument on that recording and singing every part. That's only Nathan. All Nathan all the time.
Wow, what a talent! Oh man, would you just play one instrument, then go back and record like over that instrument? Is that kind of how you did it?
Yeah. Yeah, we have I have an old friend that I've known, since the 1900s. A guy named David McMillan. He lives up in Tennessee, and he used to live in Florida. He's a recording engineer, and I think he calls it McMillan Family Recording or something like that.
Mm-hmm.
And he will he will travel to wherever you need him and set up the recording right there remote. And
Wow.
so he came down a couple of times last month and the month before, and we just had Nathan. We had started months before that, maybe just trying to do it with multiple people playing, like real
Mm-hmm.
life. And it was just so hard to get people together at the same time, and
It always is.
hard to get people who play as well as Nathan.
He's awesome. I
So,
mean, wow.
so
I'm
when
just.
So when David McMillan came down and we recorded, I just said, just let Nathan do it all. And as it turns out, it was very simple because he knew how all the arrangements went, and he can play as well as himself, and so it just worked out. So we
That was
just kept on
awesome.
doing it. Yeah.
Very
sorry if you hear
professional.
I'm sorry if you hear my dogs barking back there. Somebody must be.
That's perfectly fine. We've had dogs on the show. Listen, that's why I keep my cat outside the office, because otherwise she'll be up here loving all over me and interrupting the live show. So, dogs and cats, we've had them all on this show, so no problem.
Well, why don't you play another song? Can you play Three Rusty Nails?
Let's see if I can find that one. Yes, I got that one. Yes, do you want to hear that one next?
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. Go ahead and play that one, and I'll go try to shut the dogs up in the meantime.
Okay, again, the dogs are. Hey, just curious. Now that we've heard them, the audience is going to ask me what kind of dogs they are. So let's go and get the curiosity out.
I don't even know.
I think they're called Chihuahuas. They're Chihuahua
Chihuahuas.
dachshund mixes.
Yeah, and that's
Haven't heard-
not even the one that's most bothersome. The most bothersome one is
Beagle, yeah.
it is a beagle ear, half beagle and half whatever that other thing is. Or he must be asleep right now. But anyway.
I have to remember that. I've never heard that. Cheweenies. I like that. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, let's get back to the music now. So, ladies and gentlemen, what we're going to hear now is Nathan, a recorded version of Three Rusty Nails. And let's see if I can remember to unmute us after the song is over. So, here, ladies and gentlemen, once again, we're going to go ahead and present this once again. And this is, once again, Nathan Beaumont. And we're going to hear his wonderful rendition of Three Rusty Nails. Here it is.
2,000 years ago you sent your son. You wanted us to understand that whosoever would believe in you would be safe in his hands, with 3 rusty nails and an old dogwood tree. The sacrifice was made for you and me. We were afraid to say that he was the one. What have we done to your son? Oh, how it hurts when someone laughs at you. Their words can cut you like a knife. Just think of all the shame we cut him through. Guess we took more than his life, with 3 rusty nails and an old dogwood tree. The sacrifice was made for you and me. We were afraid to say that he was the one. What have we done to your son? Well, we know not what we do, we know not what we say. We'll never know the price he paid to take our sins away. With 3 rusty nails and an old dogwood tree, the sacrifice was made for you and me. We were afraid to say that he was the one. Look what we've done to your son.
Very good, Nathan. Oh, that's a real powerful song too.
Yeah.
Now, did you write that too?
No, I did not. I think Ronnie Bowman wrote it. We're not sure because on the Ronnie Bowman album where we got it from, it says unknown. But
oh, really? It's a beautiful song.
Yeah, yeah. Another young man. Well, young to me. It's 50-something now.
Young to both of us, yeah.
Alan Shadd, who is another about my age, though he's 3 or 4 years younger than me. He was the first to record that song, but it was written by Ronnie Bowman, who is a famous bluegrass singer and songwriter. But I really like Nathan's version of it. He took a little bit of inspiration from Alan Shadd's version, and of course most from Ronnie Bowman, but he added his own little twists in there, and there's not another version like his that you'll hear.
That was beautiful. That's real powerful. So what all instruments were featured in that song just now?
So there was guitar, there was bass, mandolin, and dobro. I think that's it.
Yeah.
Wow. It sounded great.
Yeah, well, thank you. Yeah, that song is too gentle for banjo or fiddle.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, I could have put a fiddle in there, but...
Yeah. By the way, if anybody is in Central Florida or near Central Florida, Nathan is going to be playing at this monthly bluegrass gathering in Arcadia at Craig's RV camp. Every month, I'm a officer on the board of this organization called Heartland Bluegrass Association.
Good.
And we put on a monthly show. Usually we have 2 or 3 bands, and the 4th Saturday of the month in Arcadia, Florida, which is as central in Florida as we are. It's even centraler.
Oh, wow. You're right in the middle then.
Yeah. Yeah. It's halfway between us and Lake Okeechobee, I guess.
Now, is that on Nathan's website where he's going to be appearing?
I don't think it is. They'll just have to remember. They'll just have to memorize this. Arcadia, Florida, Craig's RV.
Craig's RV, all right.
Yeah, or you can look on the Heartland Bluegrass Association. Their website has it.
Okay, absolutely.
And, yeah, so that'll be coming up this Saturday. Let's see, what else? What else is interesting going on? But what would you like to know, Bob?
Well, I just want to let you know, we have a live audience watching this show. And so we already have some really good comments. The first song that we played, Nathan, Vixen Doe gave you a big ovation there. And then we have a song, the song we just got through hearing, The 3 Nails. Sandra Piper says, awesome song. And overall, your music, she also says, very talented young man. So thank you, Sandra. Appreciate that.
Good to hear.
And also, I want to go back. That's one of the questions I was going to ask later. Let's go and talk about it now. You said he plays at LPV at Arcadia, Florida, and you said this happens the 4th Sunday of every month now.
4th Saturday.
Every 4th Saturday of every month.
Yeah, and actually, since it's a campground, people come in on Friday and there's jamming. You know, like people will camp there and just jam around the campfire or whatever. And then Saturday there is a big beginner jam. I don't know what they call it, but for a jam for no matter how well or how unwell you play, you know, they gather, and then at 1 o'clock the show begins on stage, and there's usually 3 sets. Usually there's something called the jam band, which will be like
Sure.
the best jammers that are at the park that day, and then 2 bands that we hire to come in and play. And so this time Nathan is going to be the third one, hopefully the big finale act. He will be. They'll love him.
We'll say some prayers.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay. Did you have a song you want to play live, or is there another song, a recorded song you'd like me to do? We'll leave it up to y'all.
All right,
Show's all yours.
I'll do one that was originally recorded by Bill Monroe and Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs.
Oh wow! Yeah, you're talking the classics there. Okay.
Called Little Cabin Home on the Hill.
Okay, take it away.
Tonight I'm alone without you, my dear. It seems there's a longing for you still. All I have to do now is sit alone and cry in a little cabin home on the hill. Oh, someone has taken you from me and left me here all alone. Just listen to the rain beat on my window pane in our little cabin home on the hill. Well, I hope you are happy tonight as you are, 'cause in my heart's that longing for you still. I'll keep it there so I won't be alone in a little cabin home on the hill. Oh, someone has taken from me and left me here all alone. Just listen to the rain beat on my window pane in our little cabin home on the hill. Now when you have come to the end of the way and find there's no more happiness for you, just let your thoughts turn back once more, if you will, to a little cabin home on the hill. Oh, someone has taken from me and left me here all alone. Just listen to the rain beat on my window pane in our little cabin home on the hill. Someone has taken from me and left me here all alone. Just listen to the rain beat on my window pane in our little cabin home on the hill.
Oh, awesome. Very good, Nathan. I remember that song too. Oh man, that's a classic. Again, we're having some. I guess because it's a live show, the sound kind of went up and down a few times, but we could hear it. So it was a very good job. So thank you very much for that. Now, I got a question for both of y'all now, because y'all are both musicians, and I'm hoping that you say yes to this. Y'all do, because y'all are father and son, y'all do play together, right? I mean, I'm talking for the public, play together, hopefully.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Listen, for the last couple years, I'm in three bands myself, and I fill
Oh,
in
wow.
also for people when they need somebody. There's just not enough bluegrass musicians in Central Florida to keep all the bands going all the time.
I'm
So
sure. Yeah,
we help each
unfortunately.
other out. Well, in the three bands that I'm in, I started taking him with me all the time because now I don't know if you know this or not, Bob, but musicians are not necessarily the most responsible people. And sometimes they don't show up. I mean, sometimes they're sick. That's understandable.
Oh, no
Sometimes their,
shows, right?
sometimes their car breaks down. Who knows? But anyway, I would bring Nathan to all of my gigs because if somebody doesn't show up, no matter who doesn't show up, Nathan can play their part for them. He can play their instrument and
Awesome.
sing their part. And so we have played a lot of shows together. He's not really a member of any of the bands I'm in, but he's played with a lot of them. Isn't that true? You're not really a member of any of them. But so we have played. Why don't you get mandolin and out and also loan me a pick, and we'll show them that we can actually play together.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
And,
I know what you mean about musicians not showing up. I see, I'm a webcaster. I've hosted this show for over 2 years, and my audience and subscribers can attest to this. At the last minute, I have a guest either forget or just pull a no-show. And but when you're a live show, you got to keep going. You can't just stop it. So, luckily, my audience and subscribers have been very patient. I'll pull up a subject at the last minute or grab a guest at the last minute. So I know exactly what you're talking about.
yeah.
Oh, Dave, one more thing. You mentioned about y'all playing in Central Florida, Arcadia, you called it.
Yeah.
One of my audience members, Sandra, again, says she lives in Central Florida. And so she might be able to attend. You said it was a town called Arcadia, right?
The town is Arcadia, yeah, and it's about an hour south of me. I'm in Hillsborough County, right at the edge of Polk County and Hardy County. Can't remember which county it's in. It's in the one beyond Hardy. No, it's probably DeSoto County. Anyway, so it's on US 17.
Okay.
South of Fort Meade and Lakeland and all that, and Bartow.
Well, Sandra, I hope you can find them. If you live up there, you live pretty close, so hopefully you can find them. Remember, that's Arcadia, Florida. That's for everybody. If you're in Central Florida, remember Arcadia, Florida. That's where you need to be, and check out the wonderful bluegrass shows. Fourth Saturday of every month, so I know you'll enjoy it. Hopefully we'll have the audio difficulties. That's not difficult. It just the sound goes up and down, but I think we can get through it. So if y'all want to go ahead and play, I'll go ahead and display Nathan's website again. So y'all go ahead, take it away.
Oh, I don't know. You want me? You already took my best song. Okay, let's do that. I'll stay around. Okay.
Now you just come treat me. On the next train coming down, I love you, but I won't follow. I just think I'll stay around. For someday I'll know you want me. When true love can't be found. But if you come here, I won't follow. I just think I'll stay around.
Right.
Now you admit I've always loved you. I'll never let you down. Somewhere I won't follow. I just think I'll stay around. Oh, sorry. Let me say, well, yeah. When your true love can be down, but if you go there, I won't follow. I just think I'll stay around. Someday I'll hear the whistle blowing, oh, the special coming down. Yeah, you'll be looking for me, baby, but I may not be around. Or someday I'll know you want me when your true love can't be found. But if you go there, I won't follow. I just think I'll stay around.
Oh, great, guys. Wow. And again, despite a few of the little gremlins in the system, the sound went up and down. So let me talk to the audience. Those of you that are watching the show days, weeks, months, maybe even years later, turn up the volume. That's what I did. So it's not the audio so much. If you turn the volume up, you'll hear it a lot better. So, you know, you can't fight the ghost in the system. So, but that was a great song, y'all.
Thank you. So I don't know if I've ever played on one of these kind of situations. Maybe it's the fact that it's a phone. Maybe.
Possibly, yeah.
Maybe it's like automatically adjusting our volume.
I think it does. I've noticed when it has a loud sound, you know, whatever, the sound goes down, then it kind of gradually comes back up.
Oh, yeah, it's got some automatic compression going on or something.
So but we heard it. So if you could just, like I said, if the audience, if you just watch this show again, turn the volume up, then you'll be able to hear it a lot better. Was there another song, MP3, that you'd like me to play? We have a couple left here.
Well, you want to play them? He doesn't even know what I sent you. I got an idea, though. Let's do a song that I know.
Okay.
Now, you want to do like that? Sure. All right. This is a song that I do. I've been doing this. I learned it from my grandpa. So
okay. Oh, I like that. Yeah.
It's a real old song. Now, I'll try to play real soft so you can hear the words, because this is one of those songs that the words really make a difference.
Okay. What's the name of it?
I'm My Own Grandpa.
Oh, I know that song. Okay, take it away, Dave.
You gonna sing with me? Many, many years ago when I was 23, I was married to a widder who was pretty as could be. This widder had a grown-up daughter who had hair of red. My father fell in love with her and soon they two were wed. This made my dad my son-in-law and changed my very life. For my daughter was my mother, 'cause she was my father's wife. To complicate the matter, even though it brought me joy, I soon became the father of a bouncing baby boy. My little baby then became the brother-in-law to dad, and so became my uncle, though it made me very sad. For if he was my uncle, then that also made him brother of the widow's grown-up daughter, who of course was my stepmother. I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm my own grandpa. My father's wife then had a son who kept them on the run, and he became my grandchild, for he was my daughter's son. My wife is now my mother's mother, and it makes me blue, because although she is my wife, she's my grandmother too. Now if my wife is my grandmother, then I'm her grandchild.
And every time I think of it, it nearly drives me wild. For now I have become the strangest case you ever saw. As husband of my old grandmother, I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. I'm my own grandpa. It sounds funny, I know, but it really is so. I'm my own grandpa.
Oh, I remember that song, Grandpa Jones. That's who I remember singing that.
Yeah,
Well,
that's a oldie but a goodie.
they all did a great job of that too. Yeah, I don't see how you remember the words to that. I mean, they're fast. So.
Oh, I know. When I learned this, long time ago, but
Hmm.
but it's one of those songs where you got to sing it right, otherwise it won't make sense.
Right.
And so I realized that I had to not rehearse this song, because if I'm up on stage, and I just did it a little while ago, I couldn't keep track of where I am in the story, because it was too familiar. So I made a rule that in our band, I would never rehearse that song the day I'm going to perform it.
Oh,
Well,
sure.
That rule held for like 30 years. And then we started playing at this, the state fair here in Florida has this area called Cracker Country. Now, I don't know how far away some of your viewers and listeners might be living, but here in Florida, Cracker, it's a good thing.
Okay.
That's what we natives refer to ourselves as, Florida Crackers.
Okay. All right.
And by the
Nothing
way,
wrong with that.
the legend is anyway that it comes from the early cowmen. What eventually became cowboys in America started in Florida with the Spaniards who came here in the 1500s, and they were called cowmen back then. That's how they were referred to, as cowmen. And the whips would make this cracking sound, and that's how Florida and Cracker came together. Was that you're one of those crackers, one of those guys with the whips that sound like that. So Cracker Country here at the state fair is this area where it's like a little village, and it's made of actual old buildings from the 1800s that were moved to Cracker Country and set up like they were. They're not replicas, they're actual buildings, actual houses.
Interesting.
And so during the run of the state fair, they've got people doing all sorts of arts and crafts, like an old print shop is there with the old-fashioned manual printer, and they got people making syrup and making chairs out of straw, and they've got this porch where we play bluegrass music all day. Well, because it's a fair, you got people walking by, we end up playing a lot of the same songs over and over again. And I'd have to do that song over and over again. People would ask for it anyway. So it got to the point, Bob, where not only could I do that song multiple times a day, I could even, while I'm singing it, think about something I'm seeing off in the distance and think to myself, hey, I'm still singing. This song is coming out of my mouth, and I'm not even, it didn't even bother me.
It's a part of you now, then.
It is. It's like, it's automatic. But it's a fun song, and I like it, and people are always asking for it. Anyway, Cracker, some people, when they hear that, they're shocked or whatever. In Florida, it's a compliment. Nathan and I are Florida Crackers, and in fact, in the band I'm in, one of the bands I'm in, we're all Florida Crackers.
I did not know that story. What you said about the Spaniards. Well, I see. I learned something new too. So very interesting. I wanted to ask you too. When y'all are playing, I mean, do you play locally, or do you go out?
Yeah, we go all over the place. I would say every place between here and Indiana, and every place in between. So far, now in August, Nathan's going to be playing up in Maine. There's a bluegrass festival up there. They've been having it for decades.
Oh,
and
wow.
you remember where that place is? Thomas Point Beach. Nathan plays with a young man from Tennessee called Wyatt Ellis. He's a 14-year-old mandolin player. He's real good, does Bill Monroe style mandolin playing. And he's becoming quite well known lately. Like I'm always seeing him playing with like Billy Strings or Ricky Skaggs. He's up there in Tennessee, so he gets to meet a lot of those folks. Well, anyway, Nathan and a couple other teenagers, Ian Lane from down here in Vero Beach, and then some other teenagers from around the country get together and play with Wyatt. And they are scheduled to play at this festival. I think it's Labor Day weekend, isn't it? Up in Maine. So that'll broaden our horizons a little bit.
I was going to ask you, hopefully, will y'all come to Texas anytime soon? Because I know that a lot of us in Texas love to hear y'all play live. Any plans?
Oh, yeah. Oh, absolutely. We'd love to. Oh, but we charge a whole lot. I mean, I don't know if you can afford us over there.
I can give you one hat. Will you take property? I got an iPhone. Maybe you can have.
I do. In fact, in my I don't practice law privately anymore because I now work for the court system, and I'm just working for the state, for the circuit court. But back when I was practicing privately, I was telling people if they would rather do something other than money, they could pay me with ammo or old guns or instruments or
Dark a fair trade.
gas cards, even. Whatever's usable, whatever I can do.
Hey, we have a question from the audience talking about going into Maine. So Vixen Doe's asking where in Maine, and is it in August?
Yeah, I think it's the last weekend of August. I'm not looking at a calendar, but I believe it's Labor Day weekend, which is like the last weekend of August.
Sure, first part of September. Okay, there's your answer, Vixen. So if you're in Maine, hopefully you go get to see them.
Thomas Point Beach. They've been having a Bluegrass Festival there for a long time, so you can probably find it on the internet. Thomas Point Beach.
Okay, well, looks like we have time for one more song. Did you want me to play a song, or do y'all want to play another song live? It's up to y'all.
Oh, just play the one on there that's called I got Throw Another Stone, or
yeah, you've got that one. You've got The Way I Came.
The Way I Came In. Okay, so Throw Another Stone. Do that one. That one was written by that band that Nathan plays in called Duckwallow Lane. The bass player in that band, Mike Maravella, he wrote that song. So
okay,
let's hear that one.
Okay, here we go, ladies and gentlemen. Another great song from Nathan Beaumont, and we'll get this started right now. So here we go.
The pier by the ocean side, it's there he said that our love would abide. The harbor's clean, but the breakers roar. There's a storm surge ahead. Throw another stone in the ocean, watching all the water ripple by. Made a splash, but then before long the waves, they just are so gone. Just like your promises, they die. The ship set sail on the ocean blue, safe passage based on bearings true. Now my heart is adrift on the sea, because my compass was your word. Throw another stone in the ocean, watching all the water ripple by. Made a splash, but then before long, the waves, they just are so gone. Just like your promises, they die. Anchor watch, sailors stand, shooting bearings to the land. They sound alarm when there's peril as it slips from their hands. Throw another stone in the ocean, watching all the water ripple by. Made a splash, but then before long, the waves, they just are so gone. Just like your promises, they die. Just like your promises, they die.
Wow. Wow, great song, Nathan. Thank you so much. That sounded really, really good. And I want to kind of remind my audience, for those of you, now I realize some of you are not watching this on video, you're only hearing the audio. Nathan's website is nathanbeaumontbluegrass.com. That's Nathan Beaumont Bluegrass, all one word.com. You're going to hear get a lot of good information there. And
for people not from Texas, Beaumont is Beaumont.
That's true. Yeah, they might say Beaumont, Bomont. Yeah, it's Beaumont. You're right. And David, you mentioned it briefly, but I want to promote it as well. You mentioned your band, Highway 41 South, and that's ladies and gentlemen, that's HWY, the number 41 South.com, correct?
Well, actually, it's close. We had to add the word South because we found another band called Highway 41. So our website actually is just called highway41bluegrass.com.
Okay. Excuse me, ladies and gentlemen.
It's HWY.
HWY41bluegrass.com, and you'll see Dave's band there. And it's here once again is Nathan's website, nathanbeaumontbluegrass.com. Well, guys, y'all have really entertained me and my audience. We wish y'all the best of luck. And like I said, selfishly, if you come to Texas, please let me know. Okay. We'd love to see you. I'm in the Fort Worth, Dallas area. I know Texas is pretty big, but that's where I'm at. So we'll definitely make plans to come see y'all.
Thank you very much for having us, and we definitely would like to come to Texas. So maybe we'll see you soon.
Okay. Thanks, Dave. Thanks, Nathan. Y'all have a good night. And ladies and gentlemen, that's all for me tonight. I appreciate you tuning in. Just a reminder to the newcomers, for every Tuesday evening at 7 o'clock Central Time and 8 o'clock Eastern Time, p.m., I'll have an individual guest to talk about an interesting topic. I've already got a guest lined up for next week, so you never know what you're going to get. So if you look real closely, you'll see that subscribe button. Make sure you hit that subscribe button, and you'll get updates and you'll get notifications what's coming up. And I guarantee you're going to have a lot of great guests coming up, just as what we had tonight. So I'm enjoyed it. I appreciate the guests we had tonight. And if you like the music, if you like the music from the Beaumonts tonight, make sure you hit that like button as well. And if you have any questions for them, even after the show is over, whether it's days, weeks, months, years from now, make sure you leave a comment, and I'll make sure I'll forward that over to them. So that's all for me tonight. I'm Bob Van Buren for the Van Buren Variety Show. I will see you next week, everybody. Good night.